Welcome everyone to the Rotary Club of El Paso. It's going to be, we're going to have quite a bit of announcements here, some good news, some great news, and something in between, a great program, and some pretty interesting pop-up guests that are part of our announcements. We have a couple of them, and I'm going to mix them up with our announcements. So let's kick off this meeting, and sticking with traditions, I'm going to hand it over here to Cindy Bilby, which will lead us in invocation, pledge, and four-way test.
Thank you, Yasser. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Yes?
Okay. Yes.
Thank you. Fellow Rotarians, as we gather in virtual fellowship, we feel the absence of friendly handshakes and warm hugs of welcome. We miss the sounds of laughter, the roar of a crowded room, and the energy of our gathering place. Yet our spirit of fellowship and mission of service above self remains strong and intact, while we have creatively discovered new ways to connect and to serve others. We are blessed with thoughtful leaders and dedicated members. Yes, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Amen. You join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the four-way test of the things we think say or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. That was very good.
Thank
All right,
you.
let's jump straight to, before I jump straight to announcements, Peggy Elowitz is going off to Maryland. I think she's got a couple more meetings here at the end of the month, but make sure you reach out to her and thank you for everything she's contributed to Rotary, and just a wonderful person, and we're certainly going to miss her. But hey, you know, you can always log in from Maryland, right? So hopefully, maybe she could be a pop-up guest in the future or something, but wish her well. Let's jump to announcements. So, major case of fear of losing out or FOLO. As we mentioned last week, we went to Walmart again. Last week, got more supplies. And Sophie and I were there at Walmart, and it was fun counting 100 erasers, 200 composition books. And I'm sure there's like a YouTube video out there of going one box of crayons, 2, 3, 4. Very, very fun. And then you lose count, and then you have to start over. That happened a couple times. But anyway, where we are at, and by the way, we have a pop-up guest on this here in a second. But where are we at? Oh, here's a picture of all the supplies in this van. Over 100 backpacks. That's combined with the Rotary folks. Over 200 composition books, 300 pencils, the little boxes, 200 folders, bunch of glue sticks, and over 100 box of crayons. And get this, all of this averaged out to about $7.30 per kid, per student. And I think we got even more than this, but hey guys, we're a little bit short. Thank you so much for those donating. It's here on the screen, but I got people's faces over it. But I think we spent like $730, and we got all those supplies, and we got over 8 donors. And thank you, Jenny from the block, Peggy, Martin, Mike, Adnan, Nancy, Johnny, Hector Montoya, and all you guys that donated. You know, we got donations from all over the place, from $20, $50 to $100, and we're still slightly short meeting that goal. We already got the supplies. So guys, if you have an opportunity today or tomorrow, drop a check with Arlene. We're still a little bit short since we're short on funds with our club, and I don't want to go to the club and ask for money. We're very strict on the budget this year because some of our fundraising has been canceled. So hopefully guys stop by and make a quick donation. I'm going to be asking for a couple of volunteers. This afternoon, I'm going to be at the Rotary office at 4 p.m. I need a couple of volunteers to do like a little line assembly, pick up a backpack, throw a composition book, throw a crayon box, throw an eraser in there, and then start all over. We got to do that 100 times. Hopefully we won't get too dizzy. Send a chat here, call me or Arlene if you're available. I need 2 people today from 4 to 6. So at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Arenas, who is with Tornillo Elementary School. This is a school we adopted. And by the way, we picked this school. Brian and I from the Rotary, we said, let's find a school that's the furthest away that might need our assistance. And the reason behind this is because the further out a school is, the tendency is to forget about them. So this is a great opportunity to help out. So at this point, I'd like to hand it over to Mr. Arenas and tell us a little bit more about Tornillo Elementary School.
How are you, everybody, for you guys inviting me to this? Well, first of all, I'm Mr. Arenas, and I am the program coordinator for Tornillo Elementary School. And what's a program coordinator? I work for CIS, which stands for Communities in Schools. We're a nonprofit organization, and what we do, we are here to help any student that's at risk. So we have 4 components, and I'm here to, my job here is for me to help out any student that's having academic issues. Of course, our attendance with the tardies, and our behavior, and our social services, which I'm here to try to help, try to get students school uniforms, school supplies, jackets, toys for Christmas, turkeys for Thanksgiving. And we do food pantries for our communities here. We also help the district with activities, events, guest speakers, presenters. We get presenters for Career Day and bring different programs to the district. And we do serve over 300 boxes of food to the community on a monthly basis. And Tornillo is a very, very small district. Our enrollment here is we're at 190 students. Very, very poor community. And if you all stop by or see, it's like we're living in Mexico. We don't have no sidewalks, no street lights. Sometimes we don't even have the street signs out there. But we're blessed to be here. The community is very humble. Parents are very helpful with anything that we ask for. And thank you for inviting me once again. You all doing this for our community. Thank you, Yasser.
And thank you, Mr. Arenas. We look forward to dropping off these backpacks. And by the way, in addition to a couple of volunteers today from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Rotary office, I need a couple of volunteers to drop off all these backpacks with Mr. Arenas at Tornillo Elementary School. I believe we're planning on Tuesday of next week. So if you're available, hit us up and we'll plan that. Mr. Arenas, thank you for this opportunity to help you out.
No, thank you. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
The next pop-up guest here in the horizon, hey, next Friday, Saturday, and I'm looking at you, Jimmy Melver, because I think you donated like 100 gallons of blood. I think that's what the legend has. But hey, next Friday and Saturday, we're doing the Rotary Club of El Paso. This is our blood drive, by the way. Hoping to have a goal of 30 donors. I'm signed up. I think a couple of people signed up already. Even our pop-up guest who will speak here in a second, it will be donating. It's a great, simple way to, potentially save somebody's life. This is very critical, especially here in this time. That's next week, Friday and Saturday, 2 options available. I'm gonna have the Rotary Club of El Paso banner. Call Arlene if you want to set up an appointment, but I'll be reaching out to different folks and hopefully get people to sign up. So at this point, I want to hand it over to Martin Gomez. He's with Talent. And by the way, a lot of you guys know him because he's a Rotarian with the Camino Real Rotary Club. So
thank you, Yasser. Thank you. Yes, good afternoon. My name is Martin Gomez with the Camino Real Rotary Club, and I'm also here with the Vitalan Blood Bank, former United Blood Services. Same organization, different mission. I wanted to thank Yasser and everyone in your club for participating with this blood drive. It's, as Yasser said, it's next Friday and Saturday from 8 to 2 and 8 to 3. So we have 2 different days in case you can't make it on Friday. Saturday is an option. One of the things that we do need is for you to schedule an appointment with Arlene. Arlene, I'm going to be sending you an email because I would like to donate on Saturday morning. It's going to come down to that, folks, at the end, how many people are signed up. That's how we gauge the success of a blood drive. So I invite you to participate. If perhaps you cannot donate, maybe you know somebody who can. Maybe you have a friend, a family member. And I was just telling Yasser that it comes down to calling someone and say, hey, I need your help. I need you to sign up and donate next week. A small group usually works with a small circle of friends and family. I'd like to remind you that with every blood donation, we are including a COVID-19 antibody test. So for those of you who are not sure if you've been exposed to this crazy virus, you will be able to find out by donating blood. We will be able to check it and tell you in 4 days if you are positive or negative for antibodies of COVID-19. And if you happen to be positive, well, guess what? That makes you now a special plasma donor, because the convalescent plasma of people who have been infected carry these antibodies that helps people that are in critical need right now. I'd like to recognize Jimmy Melver, who is a multi-gallon donor. I mean, Jimmy has been donating for many, many years. So please, Jimmy, if you can help be an advocate for this blood drive, we're looking for 30 people. I think right now we only have a few registered, so you could please help us participate. I want to thank you. This is all I have. Thank you for the time, and look forward to the blood drive next week.
Thank you, Martin. That's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, by the way, you know, with the Halloween coming up, maybe we could go show up as vampires or something. No, not really. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Look forward to having people sign up. I'm really looking forward to that. So 2 pop-up guests. We got the supplies coming up real quick. We're pretty close to wrapping that up. And in the horizon is this Rotary Club of El Paso, our club, our blood drive. So invite your friends, your neighbors, you know, kids, grandkids. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, Martin, for joining us. And you guys are doing over there in the Camino Real. Next up is something exciting. It has to do with wine, kind of the wine fest, adapting, date night, every month doing something different, supporting our local restaurants, our sponsors, and who better person than the chairman of the Wine Fest committee to tell us a little bit more of what's going on. So check this out. Very interesting, very exciting.
Can anybody hear him? I can't.
Yeah.
Nope.
Can't hear him. Did you guys start the audio on the video?
Oh, I apologize. You guys, nobody's hearing anything?
No. Try it again.
Let me try again. Share sound. I thought I'd done that.
There we go.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
This is Mike Hackett here. Hope you all are doing well. Everybody getting through this COVID thing. Well, El Paso Wine Fest, 8th year, and it's just not going to happen. We really thought 3 or 4 months ago even, we thought we might be able to pull something off, put something together for the public, but it's just not safe for us. It's not safe for our public. And if one thing Rotary is great about, it's about service above self, making sure that others are being taken care of. I mean, here we are, we're fighting polio throughout the world. How would it look if we went out and started spreading COVID? So we figured a way to work around it. We're working around it. And we're going to take El Paso Wine Fest curbside. And a little bit curbside with a flair, let's say. You know, we're about wine and food. So what we're going to do is we're going to feature a different restaurant every month. We're starting out with those that have supported us the most over the years. So our first restaurant, Jaggedfly, he's going to be preparing this great dish, a bento box. And his bento box will have a little bit of soup, a little bit of sushi roll. It'll have some tempura in there and a bulgogi beef, which is a barbecue, Korean barbecue. Really neat presentation. And then he's going to pair it up with a Pinot Noir wine. And everybody usually thinks, oh my gosh, I'm going to have seafood.
What happened? It paused.
All
I
right,
lost the audio.
let me try.
We're going to have Oriental. I need a sweet white. It's not true. Experienced this just the other day, having some wonderful nigiri with tuna belly that he had flown in. And the Pinot Noir pairs perfectly with it. So I'm excited to see how this is all going to pair up. And with bento box, a little bit of a mix. We'll see where it goes. Chris Lane will talk about the liner notes if you check out our website at elpasowinefest.com. You place your orders there. You're going to make your payment through our website. And from that point, we will put the orders in, and you will be set up to pick up on a Thursday evening. There will be blocks of time set aside for pickup. 30-minute blocks. We're doing this to limit your exposure and to make the flow a little bit easier. What you're going to get for this one price is dinner for two and a bottle of wine. Prices will vary from month to month, so please be sure and check it out. Every restaurant's going to do their own little thing. The idea is to promote our local restaurants and help support Rotary. This wine festival is our largest fundraising event that we had, and without those funds, we've had a hard time this year supporting some of our projects. So we're hoping to make a little bit on this just to support our projects and support our local restaurants. And I think it's a great way for you to get out of the house for a few minutes. Go find out where these guys are actually located. Check them out. They got great establishments. Everybody's open with at least 25% occupancy. Many of them have patios, so you can go enjoy your meal there at another time. But this is designed for to go. Take it home, enjoy it at home. Date night. Call it a date night. So look forward to seeing you next month. Just so you know, one person will win a meal for next month. We'll do the drawing the day of the dinners. And I hope to see you. Geez, I'll be out there helping while he's handing out the meals. Thanks, and have a great day.
All right, what a great way to adapt to the times, guys. Date nights, support local businesses, support
This is Mike Hackett.
and support our some of our projects. So keep an eye on that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Great food, great wine. All right, guys. So adapting to the times and changing in the times. Everyone's going through a lot of things. Everyone's evaluating priorities. Opportunity to try something new, and it's sad news, but AC Sanders will be, AC Sanders will be moving out of town, and Greg Furman is here. He'll tell us a little bit more about it, and AC Sanders sent us an email, and I know Greg Furman, he was good friends with you and great friends with all of Rotary. So at this point, I want to hand it over to Greg to a couple of words and a couple of quotes from AC Sanders' email. But AC will be moving on to the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yes, one of the reasons why I think he asked and wanted me to talk was I was fortunate enough to sit at the same table that AC sat at for years at a Rotary luncheon. Talked to him yesterday morning. He was waiting for the movers to come and pick up his boxes. I think he's in transit right now. As you probably know, he's going to Bedford, Texas, which is right outside of Fort Worth. His son lives there. In fact, he's going to be probably 5 minutes away from where he lives. And he is in a townhouse in a retirement community. pretty large. He's pretty excited. He obviously is concerned because of his age that he's close to family, so this should work out very well. He also told me that he has got a lot of college friends that live in the area, so he feels he's going to be in good shape. I asked him how long it took to sell his house, and he told me about a couple days, so I thought that was pretty good news. AC, as you all know, loved this club. I mean, he was very active. He loved the members. He was very involved. I was lucky enough to be on one of his committees that he chaired. There's a picture on the screen right now, and that was the luncheon, or not the luncheon, but the party that we provided for the Head Start children, where we provided 4,500 stockings and books, and he did a great job with that. And he also really enjoyed leading us most of the meetings in song. And I thought that was pretty special. And he did tell me he is coming back for visits, and he's looking forward to having lunch again with us once we all are able to have lunch at a Rotary meeting. So yeah, sir, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Greg. We're certainly going to miss AC Sanders, and we hope to see him logging in the future. He's still a member for the rest of the year. He already paid his dues, so he's still a member with us. But we wish him well. Certainly going to miss him. So make sure to reach out to AC and wish him well. At this point, let's go ahead and kick off our program, and Mark Mathis will give us an introduction of today's speaker.
Great. Thank you, Yasser. Hello, everyone. Yeah, and it's really my pleasure to be able to introduce Alan Russell. And once again, thanks very much to Hector Montoya. He's a neighbor of Alan's and Patty's, and was responsible for coordinating Alan's visit with us today. But I've known Alan for a long time. And officially, you guys saw his bio, but he is the chairman and CEO of the Tecma Group of companies. And Alan's going to tell us a bit more about how this works, but Tecma provides what they call shelter operations. So it's manufacturing support services for companies who want to do business in Mexico. Alan's company takes really all of the risk for operations and employees, and sets everything up for them just to make it very seamless operation. So he co-founded Tecma in 1986, so he's been doing this for a while. Over the years, he's really grown the operation. They now have 65 different manufacturing facilities, and employ over 10,000 employees throughout Mexico. So it's a significant operation. And Alan and his wife are very involved in the community, advocate hard for border issues, and they've helped found quite a few nonprofit organizations. Hopefully he'll get the opportunity to tell us more about that. And it's one of the ways that I met Alan. Just have a funny little story to share, because he was one of the very first people that I met when I came to El Paso. He and his wife, and Patty was our realtor when I first moved to El Paso. So got to know her very well, and she was very involved in some animal adoption agencies with my now ex-wife. But when I first came, it was in June. My wife's birthday was coming up, and I had not a clue. I mean, I wanted to, plan some great adventure, but I did not know anything about El Paso and where to go. And so I was talking to Patty, and she goes, let Alan and I kind of take care of it for you. We'll plan a picnic. So we met over at Alan's, and he said, yeah, we're going to go up to the top of the mountain. We're going to take the Weiler Aerial Tramway up to the park. We'll have a little picnic up there. It'll be great. And we're like, okay, great. So we go out to the garage, and he goes, yeah, we're going to drive up in my old Jeep. He had one of those Volkswagen things. All right. I mean, if you remember one of those open, convertible. And he's like, yeah, the only thing that's funny, the battery's a little bit weak in this thing. So, I'll have to jump start it here and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. And we get up to the top. So, we drove up the mountain. I realized how steep it was getting up that road to get to the tramway. And, ride the tramway up. We had wine and food and probably were violating all kind of rules in the state park, but had just a fantastic time. And as they closed, we had to leave and we get down to the parking lot and lo and behold, the car will not start. So we're like, man, now what are we going to do? And Alan's like, oh yeah, no problem. We'll just get in and we'll just start rolling. And, I'll pop the clutch and it'll start right up. And I thought, man, we are going to die here. Here I've been in El Paso just a couple weeks and this is going to be the end right here. Well, Alan had a good plan. It started right up. We had power and we drove smoothly down. And it was the end of a great birthday adventure for my ex-wife. So, there's a little bit of a parallel with this story because times have been tough in the auto industry, and a lot of Alan's clients and maquilas here along the border were shut down when the auto industry kind of ground to a stop. And Alan's been real involved in helping advocate for the USMCA, the new NAFTA agreement. He's been real involved in a lot of organizations that have helped restart operations here. So, he is the man in this area for maquilas and really representing the opportunities that we have here. So really honored to introduce Alan and look forward to his comments. So Alan, hopefully you got back on and you're ready to go. Thanks.
Well, I've got a lot to live up to after that gracious introduction. And, thank you for remembering that picnic. You do a lot of things in life and you don't remember them all because they weren't significant markers. But I do remember that day. And I remember the look on your face when you were puzzled first when I backed the thing into the parking slot that had a strategic downhill run in front of it. You didn't know why that was important at the time, but it all worked out and we started up. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be invited to talk to you. I'm COVID safe. Patty and I both have had COVID and recovered, and it feels good to have gotten it by. We probably were the first cases in El Paso. Patty was late February, and I was, of course, worried that I was going to give her the virus, and it turns out she gave it to me. And so on March 4th, I experienced the virus. And she had a pretty hard time with it. It was like a bad flu, no hospitalization required. And stubborn as I am, I never missed a day of work. I wasn't my normal chipper self, I will say. And some might say that I was kind of moody and hard to get along with for a few days. But because I thought we had the flu at the time, I isolated myself. My office is conducive to isolation, so we didn't infect anyone else, thank goodness. But I enjoyed your presentation on the blood drive and Vitalant. Vitalant became a partner with us through the Texas Tech School of Medicine. They coordinated, because we were early, there weren't tests available. So we were able to get the antibody test to prove that we carried the antibodies, and then Vitalant developed the system for us to donate plasma. And we've been on that cycle about every 10 days since. And that plasma is used for research and for treatment for emergency situations. And it has been approved now by the FDA as one of the most important treatments. So as you have friends that have recovered, really encourage them to donate that plasma. It's important. But the purpose of this discussion is to introduce you to Tecma. And I know many of you, and many of you are my great friends, and I see you on the screen, and really, it's great to see you because it's been a little bit kind of since March 1st, since we've had our freedom to abrazo and have lunch together and to, you know, engage. So it's great, even virtually, to see you. A little bit about Tecma, a little bit about myself first, just as a refresher. I came to El Paso in 1977. I was a pilot for Continental Airlines, and they had a base here. A lot of you that have dark hair probably don't know that, or and maybe those of you who have white hair like me remember that Continental had a base here. And this was the Latin American jumping off place, and that's where I wanted to be. And I continued to do that up until the early 80s. And as Continental started pulling out of Latin America due to a recession, you know, the airlines expand and contract based on economic times. And as they retracted, I sidestepped with a leave of absence. And I was president of an organization in El Paso called Reddington. And again, some of you with white hair remember the Reddington organization in El Paso. I was a partner and president of the company. And in 1986, all of that changed. I call it the Allen Russell Reform Act of 1986. That's a little selfish on my part, but it changed my life as I knew it because the tax law changed as related to real estate. And that gave us a whole another perspective. So I sidestepped into another industry and co-founded Tecma with some people you probably know, like Dick Azar, Jerry Coleman, Willie Farrer was involved with us that day, and some great Mexican friends. And I became the first plant manager, probably because I had no money and was the smallest financial statement of the group. Therefore, I was elected to go to Mexico and run the plant. And we had a hard time making a living because of we were competing with China head to head, and that was our model, but we had no idea that China was such a formidable opponent. So we started looking for things that were difficult to import, bulky, like refrigerators or a washer and dryer, an electronic item that had high duty rates coming in the United States. And that allowed us to begin competing. And then President Carter, this is going to lead into a political comment later, but how politics creates opportunities. And it's not always bad when politicians are involved and make sweeping changes. President Carter implemented the CAFE rules because there had been this issue in the United States of a fuel shortage. And I'm sure Sonny Brown remembers that there were long fuel lines to get gas. A lot of gas stations were out, so everybody was scurrying around trying to find a way to get gas. And so the answer to that was cars need to get more miles per gallon. So President Carter took this through Congress and implemented the CAFE rules to require the fleet of US automakers to average so many miles per gallon by a certain year. Pickup trucks were in a different category, trucks, you know, the big trucks were in a different category, passenger cars, etc. Well, the automakers reacted to that. You know, there's always an equal and opposite reaction. In those days, Ford had two gas guzzlers. It was the LTD and the Grand Marquis. This is before SUVs, which are today our current gas guzzlers. So they moved the assembly plant for the LTD and the Grand Marquis to Canada. And they ordered their suppliers to get offshore because they needed 35% of the value of that car to be made outside the United States. Then they could import it into the US, and the imported cars did not go against their fleet average. So that created a dilemma for these suppliers. How do they get offshore? So they came, some of them came to El Paso because Mexico was the closest offshore possibility, right? And this is before the internet. Cell phones were marginal. They were still in the trunks of our car in 1990. But in the roadway inn, there's a drawer, and you open it, and there's a Bible and a Yellow Pages. And every hotel motel in the country had that same profile. They would locate us under contract manufacturer. We were a contract manufacturer. But under the ratings and the quality specifications that Ford put on their suppliers, the suppliers could not subcontract their business. They couldn't subcontract it to Tecma. They had to own the shop floor. So we did a joint venture with these suppliers and created an environment where we would take them to Mexico using all of the elements that we had in place. That's from the US warehousing, the cross-border transportation, customs, logistics. We had facilities, human resources, cafeteria, all the filings with the government for corporate permission to work in Mexico. And so it turned out to be a wonderful relationship with these suppliers because we put their name on the building, and Tecma provided Mexico, and the client supplier provided three things: the materials, the equipment, and most importantly, the technology. We then created a finished product and shipped it back to Canada in that case. So that was what we refer to as Tecma's first shelter program. We put an umbrella over our client. At those days, it was a partner because we joint ventured, but now it's just a contractual relationship. And we protect our client from the complexities of working in Mexico. As they like to say, the umbrella protects them from the hailstones that are coming down, and those hailstones are our responsibility. Working in Mexico is challenging. It's different than most other countries. Even international companies come to us because of the uniqueness of running manufacturing operations in Mexico. So the idea is all of the noise of Mexico is our responsibility, and it allows our client to produce quality product and ship it. Now, how does the business model work? I want to show you this video. Last Christmas at our annual party, this is BC, before COVID, okay, we were still allowed to get together. The staff in Juarez put together this short video as a surprise to me. I had no idea they were doing it. So they went to a school and had students at an English school put together, they choreographed, put together this video and gave it to me as a gift. When I saw it, I couldn't believe it. I thought that it was probably the most telling and explanation method of the Tecma story that I could not tell as well. So I'm going to play this video for you. It's fairly short, and then we'll come back and talk. So I'm going to share a screen. I hope everybody can see it coming on now.
Working well.
Good.
And this is how my mom works making toys like this airplane. Excellent. Thank you for your presentation. Let's give a round of applause to Mary. Now, Diego, are you ready with your presentation?
Hello, today I'm here to talk to you about the place where my dad works at. My dad is an engineer in a company called Tecma.
But if your dad's an engineer, why are you dressed as a pilot?
Well, teacher, here's why. It all started with a dream of a visionary man. His name was Mr. Alan Russell. And I am a visionary boy. So like Mr. Russell, I like to fly high and fast.
Oh, okay, I get it. Please, continue.
My dad told me that he started with something small. Along with his friends, they formed a company that was initially called Técnica Manufacturera, which gave product assembly services for American companies. Over the years, Mr. Russell realized there were many advantages for foreign companies to be located in Mexico. And Mr. Russell understood all the paperwork and official procedures needed to set up a company in this country.
Yes, Hugo?
What does official procedures mean?
Official procedures have to do with all the paperwork foreign companies need to file and obtain all kinds of permits. It is only with permits that these companies can operate in Mexico.
So, as you can see, understanding all these official procedures allowed Mr. Russell and his friend Mr. Toby Spoon to develop a system that allowed foreign companies to easily transfer their operations to Mexico. This system is what is well known as the shelter system. Hugo, can you come help me, please? Can you fold this umbrella over the city? If you look closely at the Tecma logo, you will see that it's a red umbrella protecting some land. And that is exactly what the shelter system is. Tecma helps these companies through their broad umbrella services so they can easily settle in Mexico. I would like to show you a list that my dad did, explaining how the shelter system works. Can you help me? Thank you. The first step is preparation. Tecma provides cutting-edge infrastructure and facilities, selects and hires the most talented personnel, obtains permits required by the government, and transports materials to be assembled in Mexico. The second step is production. Tecma supervises the workforce, manages accountants, generates paperwork, and everything necessary to carry out the production. My dad says that it's very important that the client oversees the entire process, but above all, the quality of the production. The final and third step is delivery. Tecma takes care of all customer paperwork, export permits, and transportation, delivering the finished products to any destination in the United States.
That's great, Diego. No wonder Tecma has been able to grow so much in the last few years. Children, did you know that the people who work in the transformation industry are recognized worldwide for the high quality of their work? Well, a lot of these people work at Tecma.
Gonna go right back.
Teacher, I also know something very interesting about Tecma. Can you hold it? My uncle also works at Tecma. He has told me that Tecma owns over 50 plants and offices. These cities are like Torreón, Tijuana, Silao, San Diego, Mexico City, El Paso, and Ciudad Juárez. And if you notice Diego's scale model, you can also see the type of industries that Tecma serves. Electronic industry, packaging, metal, plastic, consumables, medical instruments, cars, and many others. Besides, the products made by Tecma clients can be found in things such as clothes, televisions, computers, cars, aircraft, toys, even inside spaceships. There is no limit to the things that Tecma customers can do. In fact, the only limit is our own imagination.
You're right, Hugo. Products made by Tecma customers are all over the world. Actually, it is very likely that in your house or in your parents' workplace, you can find one of these products. What else do you have for us, Diego?
There's something that my dad told me that I think is very important about Tecma. The values of the company. Like the other day, the teacher was telling us that values make us better people. Well, I think this also happens with companies.
You're right, Diego. Values help us grow and develop. They help us experience the future we want to experience. Children, what values do you think Tecma has and why? Yes, Mary?
Integrity, because Tecma performs according to its values, beliefs, and principles.
Who else raised their hand? Fernanda?
Customer service, because I believe Tecma really takes care of its customers.
Matthew?
Continuous improvement, because Tecma
always strive to be better. Excellent.
Teacher, I have one.
What is it?
Innovation, because it seems Tecma is always looking for new and better ways to do their work.
Very well said. And you, Diego, do you want to share one with us?
Yes, teacher. Excellent. Because my dad told me that Tecma is a world-class company. That means they achieve the highest level in everything they do.
Precisely. Your father couldn't have said it better.
That's why Tecma has won many local, national, and international awards. And the one I like the most is this one in particular. For several years, Tecma has been recognized as one of the 100 best companies to work for in Mexico. This means that in this company, everyone is important. My dad said that what he likes the most about working at Tecma is that we're all treated like one big family. And it's true. Hugo and I have been to many events where we can have fun and play all kinds of sports.
In fact, my uncle's soccer team is Tecma's champion. And definitely, they make us feel like a part of a big family.
Yes, Mary?
My mom also works at Tecma. She loves that they offer English classes as well as a scholarship to keep studying. She says that the facilities are really nice, safe, and comfortable.
That's great, Mary. Tecma is a company that truly takes care of their employees and their families. This helps to build great relationships amongst the company, creating a better working environment and a better society.
They also care about the less fortunate people. Every year, they deliver toys to many children.
I also know they support local organizations, and that is very important. You always have to be grateful.
I've noticed the diversity in companies just like in our classroom. You'll find really awesome and interesting people like Mary's mom that assembled an amazing room. Mary, can you come over here? Or like Fernando, Paulina, and Matthew all represent people from different departments, such as administration, acquisition, human resources, customs, accounting, or IT. Will you step forward, please? There's also a medical department, cafeteria, people from maintenance, security, transportation, and many more. Will you step forward, please? Teacher, I want to tell you that I also feel like I am part of this company. Tecma cares about the new generation, and who knows, one day we may be part of this great company. When I grow up, I also want to be part of Tecma's team. Finally, I would like to share with you the mission of Tecma, which is to create a work and business environment where clients, employees, and suppliers never want to leave.
Very well said, Diego. Now, what do you think if we send a message to all the collaborators at Tecma and its clients? Are you ready, children?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you for being part of our company.
Tecma, going higher and faster.
Thank you for your patience. I hope that explains a little bit about what we do, how we do it, and I'll get into it. And I know Hector may take a hook and jerk me off the stage here pretty quick. So I want to address some political issues. In many cases, clients, companies, our local businesses end up in this quagmire of decision-making, waiting on the election, waiting on the changes, waiting on USMCA. But my perspective is, since 1986, been my 35th year, my hair was dark like Yasser's when we started this company. And I've been through many elections, many presidential changes on both sides of the border, where the political agenda was completely different than the previous. And I've been through recessions, the last great recession. The NAFTA was a big change in 1994. Then the USMCA came upon us. We had the violence period across the border that you all are very aware of. With all of that, and now COVID, of course, with all of that, trade between our two countries has increased every year. Now we saw that 10,500 people have worked for Tecma in Mexico. There's also about 400 people in El Paso working for Tecma, because everything that happens on the Mexico side touches El Paso in one way or the other. So the political agenda does not matter. I want you not to worry about who's going to be president and who's not going to be president and what agenda items are going to occur as it relates to our local community and our economy. I see Tecma this month will have a 35-year record of revenue. And it's because of a perfect storm. There's a trade war going on between the US and China. And it's calm now, but anybody doing business in China, whether it's a Chinese company or a US company producing product in China and bringing it to North America, the writing's on the wall. You need to have diversity. You need to have at least a significant part of your production in North America. So where are you going to go if you're going to bring production from the Pacific Rim and you're going to bring it back to North America? Where are you going to go? You're going to go to Alabama. You're going to go to Canada. You're going to come to the border. It's the logical place. And then you look at the border, and El Paso Juarez is right in the strategic location for distribution into North America. I have never seen in my business life here, in my tenure, the amount of activity that we've got right now going on in our community. And Amazon, of course, is big news, but that's just a pimple on what's really happening. There will be $600 billion of trade between the US and Mexico this year, even with COVID. And those of us here in El Paso can have a net sticking up and trapping part of that business as it comes and goes. And that's in the real estate, it's employment, it's in small businesses, suppliers, it's endless, housing. I mean, it's the next 3 to 5 years, in my estimation, are going to be some of the greatest achievements, the greatest growth of El Paso that any of us in our lives have seen. Encourage your young people, your kids, people you're mentoring, to stay here on this border. Stick a straw in that $600 billion of commerce and build your career right here, because there's not going to be a better place. You can look worldwide, you can look nationwide, and you can think you're going to go to Austin and you're going to be a little fish in a big pond. But if you want to have a career path that is second to none, finding your niche in this border is the place to be. And I intend to hang in here as long as my health will allow me to achieve that. And these young people you saw in that video will be moving into the workplace and being entrepreneurial as they grow. So thank you very much. I want to thank everybody for your patience and listening. I'm here to answer any questions. So please, if you want to open it up, I'll be happy to visit.
I have a question. I really need to find out the resources of how to communicate with you. And I'm on the religious side, but I'm also helping with charity across our border. And I'm trying to make our organization more independent in Mexico than it is right now. It's really dependent a lot on me on this side. I want to create the autonomy of the churches that are working with not only the religious side, but also the community and helping people And we're working also with the Baptist Church on this side. They have different organizations that are over there working with refugees. But I like to be able to make it so that there is more of the autonomy of Mexico than there is in the organization right now. Like work permits, all those things need to be organized like ownership. And I want to get all our financial responsibility dedicated on that side. Now, maybe if we can make sure we can have your phone number and your information. I don't know, on the screen or whatever way we can have it, it sure would be appreciated.
Well, Pastor, it'll be my pleasure to interact with you on that. And let me tell you that Mexico did not have a multi-trillion-dollar bailout package for its businesses and its people. It does not have an unemployment system the way the U.S. has. So they're in tough shape. It is distressing, and they need all the help that we can give them. We work with the Eames hospitals delivering medical supplies and the various orphanages, migrant organizations, and we'll be happy to connect. And Mark, if you want to share my contact information.
Okay, thanks. Yes, I will do.
I'll be happy to do that. And it'll be a fun experience.
Now, do we have any polling questions today?
No, we don't.
Okay. I
was going to throw up if we knew one of Alan's, previous employment sectors, and pilot being one of those.
Well, I was asleep at the switch. I was going to provide you some questions, and
it's okay. I knew timing was going to be tight anyway. So, and sorry, I had technical problems. I think I've been offline for the last 5 or 10 minutes. So, I apologize if I missed some of the things that you were going to cover. But could you talk about development of local partners to beef up our supply chains across the border? Did you go into that, Alan?
I have not talked about that, but most of you probably don't know that there's a technology hub in Juarez that is founded by a few very entrepreneurial young Mexican businessmen that I'm so proud of. I'm so proud of being associated with them. And the technology hub is so impressive. It'll be a pleasure to take any of you to see it one day, to experience it. But it creates an ecosystem where small entrepreneurs can come in, lease space, have a workshop, collaborate with each other to develop the concept. So a spinoff of that technology hub is called the Bridge Accelerator. So get this, if a product is made in China, absolutely zero of the content of that product comes from the United States. If a product is made in Mexico, 85 to 90% of the content of that product comes from the United States. So Mexico is a very strategic partner for us. Now, Tecma, our small company, and we're small on the scale of what's going on. There's over 350,000 employees in Juarez working in this international business. And we wear out the highways between El Paso and the 5 Midwestern states, meaning Indiana, Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, etc. And we've got to change that. Less than 4% of everything that Tecma produces comes from Mexico. Now, we source a lot from companies that are foreign. They're US companies producing in Mexico, but that's really not Mexican product. That's a US product that's being produced in Mexico. So the Bridge Accelerator is a nurturing program for suppliers to learn how to sell to the maquilas, to learn how to present themselves at a corporate level where they can earn the business and have the quality systems in place and exude the confidence that's necessary for them to be successful. So it's available for small entrepreneurial companies on both sides of the border, not just Mexico. About half of the participants are from the US side, but it's small suppliers of plastics, of molding, electronic components, services, software, you name it, the Bridge Accelerator. And I can provide you content for that and turn you on to that, Mark, so we can get more information on it out to you.
So at this point, I'll interject. We're way out of time. So Alan Russell, thank you so much for speaking. And here in the chat box, Alan, thank you for sharing your great story, your passion for our community, and for building our economy. So great way to summarize this presentation.
Thank you very much. May you all be blessed. Remember to be kind during these tough times. Be kind to each other, and most importantly, be kind to humble people. They're all around us, and they need our support. Have a great day.
Thank you, Alan. I think you have a lot of Rotarian potential, so we look forward to seeing you again. And Mark Ector, great program today. Hey, by the way, next week is going to be another great program. This is a very interesting program. Doug Hemming from C-SPAN. That guy's he's pretty famous, so it's going to be pretty interesting program next week. Doug Hemming, C-SPAN, behind the scenes in Washington, D.C. So that's going to be very interesting. Stay tuned for that. Remember, guys, looking for two volunteers today, assembly line. Otherwise, I'm going to be there pretty late, putting all these supplies in the backpacks. So if you're able to make it today, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., I need a couple of people, a couple of pairs of hands, put in the crayons, pencils, composition books into the backpacks. And please sign up for the blood drive that we have going on next Friday and Saturday. Well, thank you all. We're a little bit behind time. Thank you all. Great seeing everyone, and we'll see you guys next week. Meeting adjourned. Rotary opens opportunities, guys. All right. See you all later.
Great program.